Indian remote sensing satellites are a series of Earth observation satellites, built, launched and maintained by Indian Space Research Organisation. The IRS series provides many remote sensing services to India. IRS system, following the successful demonstration flights of Bhaskar and Bhaskara 2 satellites launched in 1979 and 1981, respectively, India began to develop the indigenous Indian Remote Sensing Satellite Program to support the national economy in the areas of agriculture, water resources, forestry and ecology, geology, watersheds, marine fisheries and coastal management. Towards this end, India established the National Natural Resources Management System, for which the Department of Space is the nodal agency, providing operational remote sensing data services. Data from the IRS satellites is received and disseminated by several countries all over the world. With the advent of high-resolution satellites, new applications in the areas of urban sprawl, infrastructure planning and other large-scale applications for mapping have been initiated. The IRS system is the largest constellation of remote sensing satellites for civilian use in operation today in the world, with 12 operational satellites. All these are placed in polar sun-synchronous orbit and provide data in a variety of spatial, spectral and temporal resolutions. Indian Remote Sensing Program completed its 25 years of successful operations on March 17, 2013. IRS data applications. Data from Indian remote sensing satellites are used for various applications of resources survey and management under the National Natural Resources Management System. Following is the list of those applications: space-based inputs for decentralized planning, National Urban Information System, ISRO Disaster Management Support Program, biodiversity characterizations at landscape level, http, bis.ears.gov.in, pre-harvest crop area and production estimation of major crops. Drought monitoring and assessment based on vegetation condition. Flood risk zone mapping and flood damage assessment. Hydrogeomorphological maps for locating underground water resources for drilling well. Irrigation command area status monitoring, snowmelt runoff estimates for planning water use in downstream projects, land use and land cover mapping, urban planning, forest survey, wetland mapping, environmental impact analysis, mineral prospecting, coastal studies, integrated mission for sustainable development for generating locale-specific prescriptions for integrated land and water resources development in 174 districts. IRS launch log. The initial versions are composed of the 1. The later versions are named based on their area of application, including OceanSat, Cartosat, ResourceSat. Some of the satellites have alternate designations based on the launch number and vehicle. IRS data availability. Data from IRS are available to its users through NRSC Data Center and also through Bhuvan Geoportal of ISRO. NRSC Data Center provide data through its purchase process, while Bhuvan Geoportal provides data in free and open domain. Capacity building for IRS and other remote sensing data. The Capacity Building Program of ISRO for IRS and other remote sensing applications is through Indian Institute of Remote Sensing Dehradun and Centre of Space Science and Technology Education in Asia and the Pacific, UN-affiliated, centre located at Dehradun of Uttarakhand state in India. Future IRS launches. Following other remote sensing satellites planned by ISRO to be launched next, strengthening the fleet of IRS satellites and widening their applications. ResourceSat 3, a follow-on to ResourceSat 2, it will carry more advanced LIS sensor having similar swath and revisit capability as advanced wide-field sensor, thus overcoming any spatial resolution limitation of RIFs. Satellite would also carry atmospheric correction sensor for quantitative interpretation and geophysical parameter retrieval. It's slated to be launched during 2011-12. Cartosat 3, a continuation of Cartosat series, it will have a resolution 30 cm and 6 km swath suitable for cadastre and infrastructure mapping and analysis. It would also enhance disaster monitoring and damage assessment. It is slated to be launched during 2011-12. OceanSat 3, OceanSat 3 would carry thermal IR sensor, 12-channel ocean color monitor, Scatarometer and passive microwave radiometer. IR sensor and ocean color monitor would be used in the analysis for operational potential fishing zones. Satellite is mainly for ocean biology and sea state applications. It is slated to be launched aboard PSLV in 2012-13. Satellite data acquisition and processing. The National Remote Sensing Center at Hyderabad is the nodal agency for reception, archival, processing and dissemination of remote sensing data in the country. NRSC acquires and processes data from all Indian remote sensing satellites like Cartosat-1, Cartosat-2, ResourceSat-1, IRS-1D, OceanSat-1 and Technology Experiment Satellite as well as foreign satellites like Terra, NOAA and ERS. See also, List of Indian satellites, references, FAS website on IRS, Indian Remote Sensing Satellite Series, a saga of 25 years. Indian Space Research Organisation. PA9. Retrieved March 13, 2013. IRS Satellites in ISRO Annual Report of Year 2006 July, ABCD 11th Five-Year Plan for Indian Space Program, External links, Cartosat-2 images, Official ISRO website, FAS article on IRS system, Bharat Rakshak article on IRS system.